But Microsoft had already written an operating system on the 8-bit Atari, right? If you know anything about assembly language and machine language coding, you have to optimize these systems given the hardware. So you need specialized code for a 16-bit machine. You can't simply take the code for an 8-bit machine and apply it to 16. Because machine language is different. And Bill Gates, being the businessman, he chose the most cost-effective way of doing it. Instead of writing a straight-out operating system from scratch for a 16-bit machine, they wrote code that told that IBM PC, you are not a 16-bit IBM PC. You are an 8-bit Atari machine. It's called emulator code. They wrote that code in machine language. Then that code, first code is executed. IBM PC, upon turning it on, suddenly believes that it's an Atari 8. Then they already had the operating system for the Atari 8. That's why Microsoft doesn't have innovation culture. They are more into the business side of stuff. I think Google is going to be much better in AI business, especially using databases to make decisions. Microsoft has advantage with ChatGPT, but that advantage is with college students. Okay? The other day, my girlfriend's daughter, who's in 10th grade, was asking me a question about, she's taking AP European History, a very specific thing about the war between Dutch and the Spanish in the late 1600s. I know kind of something about it, but I said, you don't have to do anything about it. I basically did the following. I have ChatGPT trial membership. It's free. It's for 3.5. I'm not going to upgrade it, okay? Write a 1,000 word essay on French classicalism. Classicism. That's it. It's better than Wikipedia because it's based on much better sources. If you want more detail, ask for a 5,000 word stuff. For that, ChatGPT is great. Whether or not Microsoft is going to be able to make any money off of that is a separate issue. But more AI stuff, when I say AI, I'm not necessarily thinking in terms of HAL 9000. Do you guys know what a HAL 9000 is? You know, Kubrick fans show themselves. It's the best movie that has ever been made, in my opinion. Even better than Godfather 2, of which I'm a big fan. I've watched it 30 times in my life. HAL 9000 is an AI that actually is conscious and, you know, makes decisions based on its survival, kind of like Skynet. If you don't know HAL 9000, you probably know Skynet. I'm not even talking about a conscious AI. What people have in mind for AI is more machine learning. Code that learns from data and updates data models. And my son is working on stuff like that. He's applying those methods to data that comes from EEGs to classify different kinds of things into different kinds of EEG patterns. And it creates beautiful results. And one of the things he does, he kind of augments the data with random noise, and model actually learns from that and models the noise much better, yada, yada, yada. For that, Google is going to be a much better company. Why? Because Google has a culture of innovation. Google never goes for the cheap business solution. Microsoft culture is never that, will never be. I mean, 50 years from now, maybe. But that kind of culture doesn't change that easily. That's why Yahoo went never anywhere. Yahoo as a search engine was about business. Google as a search engine was about actual software efficiency. And that's why Google has become Google. Do you know anybody who actually does web search using Yahoo? Or Yahoo had something called Ask Jeeves. You may not even remember what that is. That was the search engine for Yahoo, right? Anyway, going back to that basically says, NVIDIA is a much better investment. But for now, let's calculate 5-year forward PE for peer group. Again, using those weights, 1139 times 563 plus 2471 times 1664. All we have to do is to figure out what price gives us that rate. Just for the sake of argument, suppose our non-public company has expected EPS of $10 for next year, 1 year growth expectation of 50%, and 5-year growth expectation of 150%. I'm just making numbers up. What would be the price based on 5-year forward PE comparison? I can actually use this sheet. First, let's figure out year 1 growth is 50, 2 to 5, 1 to 5, 150. Let's figure out 2 to 4. Data, sorry. I'm gonna do something here. Desired 5 years forward PE, should be PE, not EPS. What was our number here? 13.67. I'm going to quickly calculate the difference here. My forward EPS is 10. What I'm going to do is data, what if analysis, goal seek, make that difference between the actual and the desired EPS 0 by changing the price. Again, I could do that with a formula, but it would involve too much. So that should be the price, right? Let's stop here today. On Wednesday, I'll kind of make some of these parts automatic so that we don't have to worry about going through that. At a minimum, I have a valuation. Whether or not I applied a discount to that, we will talk about that. Maybe we can look at discounted earnings numbers because the discount rate I'm going to use for NVIDIA is much lower compared to startup enterprise. So we'll continue on this vein on Wednesday.